In March this year, the Central Reference Laboratory of Kazakhstan became a controversial biological laboratory after being funded and built by the U.S. as per ChinaDaily.com report. The said laboratory was opened in 2017 and used to be controlled by the Soviet Union. It is studying some of the deadliest pathogens that could be used in bioterrorism attacks, according to the reports. The National Geographic Channel reported that the facility is a $102 million biosecurity laboratory funded by the United States Defense Threat Reduction Agency or DTRA and the Non-Lugar Cooperative Threat Reduction Program or CTR. The lab is studying the highest risk diseases such as plague and cholera. Last January, TASS News Agency reported that social media speculated that experts in chemical protective suits were working near the lab due to a leak of dangerous pathogens. The Kazakh government had previously denied any involvement in producing biological weapons. According to National Geographic report, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Carlton, director of DTRA offices in Kazakhstan, said that the lab also provides steady employment for scientists who might otherwise be tempted to sell their high-level and potentially destructive knowledge to hostile groups. As claimed by the James Martin Center for Non-Proliferation Studies, a California-based non-governmental organization that aims to curb the spread of weapons of mass destruction, historically, Kazakhstan monitored high-risk diseases in laboratories of the former Soviet anti-plague system, which fell into severe disrepair after the fall of the Soviet Union and the subsequent lack of funding. The U.S. then engaged with this former Soviet lab through the CTR program. It was not the first time the U.S. took over former Soviet biological research as per ChinaDaily.com report. Added to that report, according to the Jamestown Foundation, a Washington, D.C.-based think tank, beginning in the late 1990s, the U.S. started to establish partnerships and develop collaborations in the field of biological research with a number of former Soviet republics to seek to dismantle the former Soviet Union's massive biological weapons research, development, and production infrastructure. The DTRA and the CTR have carried out various biothreat reduction projects in Russia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Georgia, Azerbaijan, and Ukraine. In 2018, Major General Igor Kirillov, the commander of Russia's radiological, chemical, and biological defense troops, claimed that, quote-unquote, under the guise of peaceful research, the U.S. is building up its military biological potential. In March 2022, former Fox News host Tucker Carlson said in Tucker Carlson Tonight that, quote-unquote, the Pentagon has been doing it since 2005, working with Ukrainians to, quote, eliminate biological weapons left behind by the Soviets. That makes sense. But wait, 2005 was 17 years ago. How long does it take to eliminate Soviet bioweapons? 17 years seems like a long time. If you had 17 years and ample funding from Congress, you could probably remove and catalog every grain of sand on Waikiki Beach. And yet somehow, over that same period, 17 years, the Pentagon has not finished removing test tubes from Soviet-era freezers. According to a report presented by the U.S. to the meeting of the Biological Weapons Convention in November 2021, the Biological Threat Reduction Program of the U.S. Department of Defense or DoD has reportedly supported a total of 336 biolabs across regions, including Africa, East Europe, Central Asia, South Asia, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East, as well as several biosecurity labs operated directly by the DoD overseas. I am Lovely Montoya of Manila STV.